Yeah, don't hide under the table, please. Right. Welcome to the final of the main event for GB9's Event 2. Obviously, want to thank absolutely all the participants. Every single one of you who's attended, you make the tournament. Your participation is hugely appreciated, and we want to keep on growing from this. We had 67 in the first event, 75 for this event, and obviously we want to keep on growing and get to that maximum field of 96 this year. So thank you very much to all the players. Give yourselves a round of applause. Of course, I've got to thank Dean, Andy and Julian. They're part of the committee of GB9 as it stands right now. Can't tell you the amount of hours that goes into this, the amount of work, the stress, the late nights, and of course between Thursday night through to tomorrow evening, it's a lot of hard work for these guys. I know for a fact that Andy, Dean and Julian didn't get home till about 3:30 at the last event in the morning. So obviously, please just give a round of applause for the officials. So of course, it's been a hard battle to get to the final for both players. They've been battling against some of the finest talent in the UK. We have got some seriously good players in this room. And of course, you know, when you look to the last 16, even the last quarterfinals and last 16, anybody could have won the event, got to the final. So, but now it's time to crown the new Event 2 champion of GB9. Hang on a minute, I'm just trying to make sure I've got all my cues. So first up, he's the reigning Scottish 9-ball champion. He is the quarter-finalist at this year's UK Open. He comes from Glasgow in Scotland. You might be able to understand a word he says. It's Fraser, the Razor, Patrick. Cheers. Cheers, Fraser. Cheers, buddy. Oh dear. So professional. It's just like watching Sky Sports, isn't it? Next up, we've got the diminutive legend of London. So again, he's another small lad. He's a multiple ex-champion in America, the UK, and also the West Indies. He's having a big resurgence at the moment, despite his advancing years. It's Ramesh Ramajama Gokhul. Really quick interviews, yeah? Really quick. Fraser. That's a really sudden sort of cut off of the music, wasn't it? All right, we're just going to do a little bit of a quick interview with the players just before they start so you can see how they're feeling. So, Fraser the Razor. If anybody needs any translation, don't ask me, all right? Fraser, big match coming up. How are we feeling?
Fine. Try hard, see what happens. Win or lose, can't complain. So, came down to try and win it, so I've got a chance.
Right. Yeah, he's shitting himself. Obviously, with Ram being your opponent, I don't think you know a huge amount about him. So, what are you expecting from the match and your opponent?
No, I've never played him, never seen him. I've heard of him, but as I say, play, try, see what happens. hopefully win.
Brilliant. So he has no regard for him whatsoever. Fantastic. And obviously, what will bring you success in the final tonight?
Pop more balls.
Port more balls. Fantastic. Fraser, thank you very much. Ramesh, same questions for you, really. Big match coming up, biggest match of your year so far. How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Brilliant stuff, yeah. Well, you look it. Obviously, Fraser comes in with a big reputation. So what are you expecting from him in the match?
I'm expecting a tough match. I've been following him. He's had a wicked UK Open recently. So he's a tough player to play against, so hopefully I can stay with him.
Brilliant stuff. And what's going to bring you success to the match today?
Hopefully my Q action stays with me.
Fantastic. Everybody, big round of applause for Ramesh. Thanks very much, everybody.
And welcome. This promises to be an absolute cracker of a final between Fraser Patrick and Ramesh Gokhul. Players just having the traditional handshake next to that magnificent trophy. And I'm joined in commentary, I'm pleased to say, for the final by Graham Hamilton. Graham, welcome. I understand you had a bit of trouble getting here on time.
Ben, good to see you, sir. Thank you very much for the welcome. Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle to get here. 28 hours between me leaving the house and getting here to Red Hill. It was a nightmare getting here from Glasgow, but worth the effort, that's for sure. I'm delighted to be here for this great final.
Yeah, magnificent setup here. Both the players choosing not to play a practice rack. Interesting. So it's going to be a race to 11. And they lag.
Interesting from Ramesh because he played on a separate table. Am I right in saying that? He was on the other stream table.
Yeah, he was on the second stream table for the semi-finals, but he has played on this table a few times over the weekend, so he's probably used to it.
Quite a short lag from Fraser Patrick there. Interesting. Is it a sign of nerves?
Yeah, this bottom rail has sometimes caught a few players out. There is sometimes a slightly small bounce off it.
How's that for a break off from Ramajama?
Absolutely perfect. If you came to the table first time up, that's exactly what you want to see.
I have to say I'm delighted that this is the final. I think if you were to predict who the finalists were going to be, we certainly wouldn't have chosen these two. I would have chosen Fraser. I know him very well from back in Glasgow, of course. Ramesh Dani I've played before in the past, so I know how good he is as a player. Did we expect him to get to the final? Possibly not.
No, I would agree with that. I must say I did tip Fraser from the start, so I'm kind of happy that my my radar's not off, because he was playing some magnificent stuff at the UK Open, and the only thing that really stopped him was his break just dried up towards the end of the quarter-final.
It did, yeah. I was in Fraser's corner for most of the UK Open. His match against Kachi especially was absolutely outstanding, and he was showing the world really that he's more than capable of competing with the top players. I've known that myself, and a lot of the Scottish players have known that for a long time, but finally proving it on the world stage, and he came up just a little bit short in his match against Mickey Krause. But yeah, what an amazing UK Open he had. But Ramesh doing a good job going through these balls.
Yeah, they were exactly where you'd want them, but you still got to take them out. It's just a bit of pace control here to pull the cue ball back.
It's easy to overhit and underhit this one.
Always caught the point.
The point. Had a feeling that was going to happen, and now suddenly it's gone from tappers to an absolute tester on this 8. The good thing is he doesn't have to do a huge amount with the cue ball. Can just roll it through, come back off the bottom rail and back up again. Selected to go safe. Interesting. He's played it really well though. Left a tiny edge for Fraser to catch. Just the very left hand side of that 8, if that's how he wishes to go. He's just checking for a potential kick and stick.
I'll tell you what's amazing to me is neither of these players seem to be covered in sponsors. You'd think there'd be people chomping at the bit to get their names on these players' shirts.
Kick and stick coming up here from Fraser. He's played it well. Well, he got a good contact. He's going to leave a shot. It's very tight, but we're right down the barrel of this, Ben. I think Danny can get to this.
Yeah, he absolutely can from where I'm sat right behind it. Plenty of room.
But what a tester though. Just off straight. Needs to cue it well. And he does. Drawing it back a little bit too much. That's the adrenaline coming in there. So he's got another tester, but he should be fine with this one. Great shot in the 8 ball. I did not see that happening.
No, an unreal miss. And from the layout that he had after the break, he won't believe he's lost this rack.
And there you have it, Fraser Patrick taking down this rack. Very much second favourite for that one. Now the question for me is, how's that going to affect Ramesh? It was there for the taking. He played a really good shot in the 8 as well. I mean that's a 9 out of 10 9 ball I would say, but it is the final of the main event after all.
Yeah, a lot of money on the line for these guys. About $2,500 for the winner of this event, which is great for only the second event of the new iteration of the GB9 Ball Tour. And Dan was talking to us yesterday and saying that he has found some sponsorship investment, so we're hoping that that prize money will also go up. So
you mentioned earlier on, Ben, just about sponsors, the fact that these guys are not heavily sponsored, and I totally agree. Like, they're both very talented players. Of course, Fraser is now, known worldwide, really, when you think about it. Not just his work on the snooker tour, but of course what he achieved at the UK Open. Really got his name out there. He was live on Sky Sports, of course. I know he's actively looking for sponsors, and it hasn't quite worked. Sponsors are hard to get in 9 ball at the moment, unfortunately. Hopefully things will change.
As Julian Roper announces the second rack, taking charge of his first GB9 final of the new era. Absolutely perfect break. One ball in the side, cue ball off the side rail and makes contact with a 9, which a lot of players are looking for to give it the best chance of a golden. There's another dream layout. It's just a slightly tricky opener with the cue ball pretty much nailed onto that top rail.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to control this too, for sure. Quite a lot of angle. And we've seen how the point of the pocket caught Ramesh out in that 9, so this pot's not guaranteed either.
He's looking at various options, and he's got a lot of room to walk around in that massive arena. It's bigger than most TV arenas I've seen.
Absolutely. Oh, lovely shot there from Fraser. Played it at a good pace, gave the pocket every opportunity to accept it. So, have we got a potential 3-9 combo here?
He's certainly lining it up, but it'd like to be directly behind it. This is tough to gauge.
And the fact that the 9 is, I mean, it looks on the TV like it's over the pocket. It's not. Again, makes it look even easier there, but I don't think it's as easy as it looks.
No, if you don't get a full ball contact here, it's very easily missed.
And he's made it. Great shot there from Fraser Patrick.
But look how he's played it, look. The cue ball running up behind the 6. He played it as a two-way shot just in case.
And that's the difference, you know. So a lot of these guys, especially at the very entry level of amateur pool, they don't often think about that cue ball when they're taking on combinations. They just go all out for it. That was nicely played. So good start here for Fraser. I was watching his match yesterday against Stephen Ellis, and he got off to a really bad start, actually. Really bad start. I think he was 4-1 down, I think, to Stephen.
Yeah, he's had a slow start to a lot of matches. Even earlier on today in the semi-final, we saw he made a few errors early on, and it was 3-3 all of a sudden when he probably should have been a bit further ahead. But then he just went on this run. He's just absolutely unbelievable form. There was nothing anybody would have been able to do about it. And it looks like he's continued it.
And he was super confident coming into this. He turned up to win. So here we go. Ramesh Gokhul breaking 2-0 behind. Doesn't want to lose many more racks at this stage. It was a great break. The first one in the match, so let's see how he does here. One in the side, and look at where this 2 is going to go. Oh, the 6 has just got in the way. Can he get the 2? It's close. What do you think, Ben? You're kind of down the barrel of it. Julian's very nice form is in front of you.
Well, I am literally right behind this shot, and I looked at the ball before Julian moved it. He had to move the cue ball in order to get the rack off, and I looked at it after, and it's in exactly the same place, and he can just about squeeze past, but it is so tight, and he's got a cue over that 9.
And that's what makes it even harder.
I don't think he's going to be taking it on, I'll be honest.
Trying to use the 7 as a blocker. Cue ball's getting close. Well, he's certainly covered full ball by the look of things. Yes, he has. There might be the tiniest of an edge of that too. I think Fraser would need to put a little bit of left-hand side on it in order to make it, but he's looking to kick. Just wanting to stop this cue ball dead. Behind the 7. Send the 2 ball down table.
Yeah, you don't want to catch half ball here. That needs to run, it's not going to. I think he's left a sitter.
He's not happy with that one. So chance for Ramesh. He had a great chance in the first rack. Didn't quite work out. He's got to take advantage of this one.
But that's the brutality of 9 ball, isn't it? We were 1-9 ball away from 1-1.
Not doing anything too crazy with the cue ball. He's going to have to swing round a couple of rails here. Is it going to get past that 6?
Well, as soon as it came off the first cushion, I thought it was going to be okay.
It looks like a good pace, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like the spin just kind of came away from the cue ball there. So kicking off the bottom rail, it's definitely a full ball snooker. And again, when you've got a player like Fraser who pots the ball as well as he does, he's going to have to leave this 4 as safe as possible. Top rail is kind of going to be what he's looking for. If he leaves any inkling of a pot, he's in trouble. It's not bad, and that 6 might come to his rescue.
Well, I don't know if he can see enough of it for the pot, but he can definitely see it.
So it looks like he's going to try and put the cue ball behind this 7 ball, sending the 5 further down table. Is it the 4? It's the 4. I've only been playing with this set for how many years? And that's not worked out.
The 5's always been purple, we all know that.
hope Emily's not watching. So a bit of a gift here. Fraser's safety play is usually absolutely on point. Great shot there from Danny. You can't get the victories that Fraser's had this year without having top drawer safety play. And this is the little gift that Danny's needed to get going. Heading back just to get his extension. Lovely shot, brought the cue ball out to centre table, and I don't see any problems here. And I think we're happy to see Ramajama get one on the board here. We don't want to see anyone run away with this. That's exactly what happened in the last main event final. Stephen Ellis ran away with it against Terry Challenger.
Yeah, we might not want to see it. I'm sure Fraser would be quite happy if he ran away with it.
And listen to that crowd. You didn't hear it when Fraser won the first 2 racks. This is, of course, Ramajama's territory. He's a London-based player, so of course he's going to have a lot of people rooting for him. So Fraser up against the crowd.
Yeah, he had a lot of support just walking into the arena. People dancing with him, singing along.
Popular guy, and you can see why he's a good guy, Danny. As I say, I've played against him once. I played him at the Amateur UK Open a couple of years ago. Really nice guy. And it's Danny, okay. So, by the way, I'm talking about the crowd. There's of course a lot of London-based players here cheering Danny on. However, there are some guys in Fraser's corner as well.
Yeah, Dan was mentioning yesterday when I spoke to him in commentary that he's really, really pleased with the support from Scotland and Wales. It's great that players are coming from all over for this GB9 event, because it's a long way. London is a long way from Scotland.
Especially when the trains aren't running as well. Believe me, I found that out on Thursday. But worth it. So here we go.
In his semi-final, he did toy around a little bit, moving that cue ball from the centre of the table, the centre of the break box I should say, all the way out to the side. They seem to settle on this sort of halfway house point, which seems to be working for him. But he's got a lot of distance this time between cue ball and 2. And that's the thing with the break box, you cannot guarantee a shot on the lowest ball, even if you can make the 1 very consistently.
Needs this 2 to speed up. Well, he has left somewhat of a shot. Not an easy combination this, if that's what Danny chooses to take on. Couple of options, I guess. He could try and hit the 2 off the bottom rail, send it up table, but then the scratch is potentially there. That is the combination. He has missed it. And left Fraser a straightforward chance.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that cue ball's run far enough. He was just checking, see whether he'd maybe found some cover, but I don't think so.
I would have preferred the safety there, I think, Ben. I think there was more value in going safe. Because he's having to control the 2 ball, he's having to control the 6 and obviously the cue ball as well, as there's a lot going on with that shot. I don't blame him for taking it on. Cannot afford to gift racks, or easy runouts at least, to someone of Fraser's ability.
Yeah, he was, I get the feeling I might curse him, but he was not missing these in the semi-final at all. But he has made this a bit more tricky than he should have.
A little grimace in his face there. He doesn't like it. The thing is, I mean, he's got options, that's the thing. I think he's going to have to come to the bottom rail for this one though.
Yeah, maybe a bit of inside and 2 rails and back up, straight up the table.
Yep, centre table for the 6, I think that is the shot. He certainly can't hold for it, that's for sure. I think there is only one shot here. He is looking at the 8 though. Yeah, I think the 8 will come into the account here. The 5's a little bit further down table than it first looked. Yeah, he was right to think about that 8.
However, that's quite friendly where it's landed. Not for the pot, obviously, but it's
Yep.
a simple safety now.
I mean, there is a potential bank shot on as well if he wanted to go aggressive. I personally wouldn't. I would go safe here myself. I think that's what Fraser's doing. Played it well. I think Ramesh just happy to come to the table in this rack. It looks like he'd handed over a relatively straightforward run out. Has the 7 come to his rescue here?
I think it has. I think it's just made it awkward. It's either covered most of the pocket. I think it has, but it hasn't come far enough where it's an easy combo. So he's looking at the carom. Or just behind the 7 maybe. Oh, he's banked it.
Oh, wow. How's that stayed out? Unbelievable. We've been seeing those shots go in all week. I think it's just the pace. He did put a little bit of pace on it. Nothing dramatic, but it was enough to keep it out.
So it looks for all the world now like we're going to be tied up early doors in this final at 2-2. The simplest of 9s deposited. And this is hotting up now.
And the thing is, you're not just seeing run out after run out after run out, you're seeing a little bit of safety play, a couple of wee mistakes in there as well, a little bit of luck coming into it, a little bit of run of the ball at least coming into it, and that's what you want to see. Of course, Danny had that amazing win over Imran Majid. I think coming into every GB9 event for the last goodness knows how many years, Imran comes in as the favourite, or certainly one of the favourites. So what a fantastic win that was for Danny.
Yeah, I remember when I was refereeing at GB9, and we're talking 6-7 years ago now, it was the Imran and Mark Gray show.
Oh, yes.
All the time. One of those two would win, well, very, very often anyway.
Oh, yeah. When I first started playing GB9 back in, I think it was 2017 was my first event, Carol Boys was on an absolute tear. I mean, I think he went something like 3 or 4 events, maybe 4 events unbeaten. No one could beat him. And that's with Mark Gray. Yeah, and it seems like since Carol Boy's retired, for me it's pretty much the Mark Gray show. It's a shame that we've not seen Mark Gray come back into 9-ball since the resurgence of GB9. It appears that his 9-ball days are over. Let's hope that changes. What a great player Mark Gray is.
Yeah, unbelievable player. And I always remembered he played with a modified snooker cue, if I remember.
Of course, and he always has, yeah. So this doesn't look too bad. So he's going to have to play a combination 2 onto the 5, but it's pretty well set.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of margin for error there. Even if he runs the 5 into the rail, it should be okay.
Yep, he's controlled that well and controlled the cue ball well too. 3 over the pocket. I think his biggest problem here is probably going to be getting on the 6. 4 to the 6, but even then, I wouldn't call it a problem.
Bit of a stretch for him there, though. His diminutive size isn't going to help.
Going for the rake, something I refuse to do. I have never worked out how to use the rest efficiently. I have got every extension in the world you can possibly think of to try and avoid using the rest. Danny, of course, can use that no problem, and look at the angle he's created for himself. That's a really good shot. giving them every chance of landing onto the 6.
I remember seeing Earl Strickland at last year's US Open with an absolutely ridiculous length cue. I think it was... how big was that? It was about 72 inches, I think.
It's not even the fact that it's the length of it, it's the everything else that comes with it. He's got the tennis wraps, hasn't he?
Tennis wraps are the thing, yeah.
It just thickens the cue up. It's insane.
It must be very heavy.
Oh, he just made that. Just. It certainly was not centre pocket. But good enough. Yeah, my friends back in Scotland, they know that I'm partial to putting an extension on the back of my cue, a little bit like Earl Strickland. Take a lot of flack for it. It's just because my cue action is so wonky that I need that little bit of weight at the back just to keep me in line.
I've seen some developments in front extensions. Have you seen these?
I have. I've seen that. This is the new thing. Yeah, I'm not sure I trust that one. I had a middle extension for a while as well.
Yeah, I've seen those before. But they're no good for when you're on a shot clock. You've got to break your cue apart and put it in.
Oh no, they're on permanently. Well, the one I had anyway was permanent.
I see.
But yeah, it's just not as good. I mean, it's a good shot there from Danny. Don't think he can quite. Can he stop it? I think he can actually. No, coming across the other side of the 9, same pocket.
Yeah, I think he could have tried to stop it, but it's one of those that's very dangerous because if you end up in the 50-yard line, it's no good, so why not just come across?
And there you have it. So, Danny turned up to play pool. Great start for Fraser Patrick. He's been sitting in his chair for the last, certainly 10-15 minutes. Thank you very much for joining us, folks, on the live stream, TYPLive. Sam, it's been another great tournament from yourself. You've absolutely smashed it. Big fan of what you do here. And we've had plenty of viewers, which is great. So yeah, thanks for the comments as well, folks. We'll keep on top of your comments. Feel free to give us a wee shout. Let us know what you think the score's going to be, who you want to win. Be interested to see what the spread is like on the chat. I'm sure we'll have a lot of people from Scotland tuning in to see how the best player in Scotland plays. And there's no doubt he's the best player in Scotland. Quite a lot of good players up in Scotland. Elliot Sanderson, of course, has made that his home. And we are claiming him. I don't know if you want us to do this, but we're going to claim him as Scottish.
Well, I can't comment either way, because either way I lose, don't I?
Of course, the part of the GB World Cup team. I was talking to Jason Shaw at the UK Open, and he made a couple of little hints about Fraser potentially joining him if there was ever going to be a resurgent Team Scotland.
Well, who knows what's going to happen in the future.
Absolutely.
And here you go. This is what I was saying earlier on.
Totally different.
He's moved the cue ball, but his last break was good. He just had a distance between cue ball and 2, but there's not a lot you can do about that.
There's more chance of making the 9 off of this particular type of break. And he tried to kick that 9, it was just a 7 got in the way. He's not happy with it.
Again, distance between cue ball and 2. But he has control of the table. Someone's just asked on the chat, am I right in thinking there's no 3-point rule on the break? Yeah, you're absolutely right. So GB9 plays matchroom break rules, which is you must break from the break box and you must use a forceful break, which is dictated by the referee. All the breaks this weekend have been really, really good, really forceful. And the reason they don't use a 3-point rule is because you can hit it as hard as anybody, and sometimes you just get unfortunate.
Oh, what a shot.
That's a great shot from Danny.
The cue ball, I mean, he's a bit unlucky that the cue ball sat on that side rail. Just a little touch off the 5 that sent it there. And the thing is, look at where the 4 is located, so he's not really gotten much of a reward out of this, but as you said earlier on, it's possession of the table. He is in control of what happens here.
Yeah, sorry, just going back to the break rule. Yeah, sometimes if you've got a 3-point rule, you can hit them as hard as you want, and just the way the ball's cannon and hit points, you don't make 3 points, and it's not your own fault. So instead of penalising people when they're hitting the break, as they should be, Matchroom have the forceful break rule, and that also means, because there's no dictated speed or anything like that, that rule works for any player, ladies, amateurs, juniors, who won't be able to hit it as hard as Fraser, but as long as they're using a forceful break for them, that is absolutely fine.
Oh, that has not worked out. Unforced error there from Danny. And a great chance for Fraser now. And I get the feeling this is how this final is going to be dictated. Who makes the least amount of errors?
Yeah, we saw it in rack 1. Ramesh let an easy chance go by. And as you pointed out, it hasn't been break run, but it's still been good quality.
Absolutely. And I would take this type of match over any, Joshua Filler and Jason Shaw match, those sort of things where it's just break and run, as you say. Because these guys are more than good enough to do that type of pull, but maybe not as consistent as a Josh Filler or a Jason Shaw. That was very much a snooker player type shot there from Fraser. I think a lot of 9-ball players probably would have come out to centre table with that one.
Yeah.
Gone a couple of rails.
With a snooker type rest as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be at home with that. Of course, Fraser no longer a snooker player. He's very much committed to 9-ball. He was on the snooker tour, let me think, 2022, I believe. And he had that amazing win over Luca Brissell the same year that he won the World Championship, or certainly the same season that he won the World Championship.
So really what we're saying is that he's better than Luca Brissell.
That's what I said to Fraser. He's not having it, but I mean, technically, right? Fraser could have been the World Champion. It's a real shame what happened with Fraser with his snooker career, because he got on the tour. Of course, I'm sure you can appreciate just how hard it must be to be a snooker pro, to get through Q school. He got through it. Of course, had that great result, but soon after he developed a neck injury, I believe it was, and he basically had to just waste the rest of his tour card. He wasn't able to compete in any events. They didn't freeze his ranking until he got back to full fitness. He basically just petered out a little bit, which is a real shame. But that's the gain of the 9-ball world, because now we've got this smooth cueist playing our game, and it's great to have him.
Yeah, he's going to be a force for absolutely everybody, right at the top of the game, as he proved at the UK Open.
So 3-3. So Ben, I'm going to put you in the spot then. We've seen how the first 6 racks have gone. I want you to give me a winner, but give me a score as well.
Well, I can't go against what I called at the beginning, which is Fraser winning the event. But every time I think Ramesh he's come up against somebody who's, I think he should maybe lose to, he's just proved me wrong time and time again. So Fraser's going to take it, but it's going to be 2 or fewer racks in it. It's going to go most of the way, if not all the way.
Can you see someone pulling away?
Well,
it's a possibility, isn't it? But I totally agree with you. And I really hope it's going to be just like we've seen in the first 6 racks.
The thing with a longer race like we've got here with a race to 11 is that you can have swings of momentum. Someone can go away a bit, but then the other player can come back. So there's definitely enough time for anything to happen in this match.
And that's where mental strength comes into it. So here we are. Ramesh, Danny, Gokhul, 3-3. Both players have been breaking pretty well. He's lost the cue ball a little bit here.
Yeah, he just cut that one a little bit thin. The cue ball came to the bottom rail. Still managed to make the one. I think they've made it in every rack, which is been unusual on this match table this weekend. So they're both breaking well, and the referee's racking well, which helps. Little push out for Ramesh.
Yeah, he's just tying up that 3 to the 6 a little bit more. Yeah, I thought Fraser would hand that one back. There's a wall of balls to hide behind here. But what is he going to do with the 2 ball? Could he maybe try and bring that 5 into play? He's going for the pot. That's where the TV's a little bit deceiving in the angle that we are sitting at as well. I thought that was going to be a really hard pot, but he's taken that away really well. Now, combination. Now, to be fair, Danny did tie these balls up, so he's got to deal with it himself now.
Yeah, I think he's just going to use the 6 to try and stop. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I was going to say stop the 3 ball. It moved a bit, but I don't think he predicted it coming back. And
So, sorry to interrupt, Ben. I'm just having a little look, as I always do with every rack. I'm looking at the position of that 9 ball. So, does he have the potential to draw this cue ball back and play a 4-9 into the side?
well, he might do, but he just, as he walked around the table, he just looked at the angle to get to the left-hand side of the table and leave it for the bottom right.
Oh, so it goes. Okay, yep, and that's what he's played it for. Has he come across enough?
Difficult to tell, I would say, from his expression. It looks it from there.
The good news is we've got this amazing setup here at TYPLive, and we can see quite clearly it does go.
Slightly more awkward. This is a lefty. He's got to get his right hand in there and cute and his arm over the 6. It's going to be a friendly flick.
Oh, he's gone in behind.
I thought, as it came back, I thought he was going to flick the side of the 8 ball and stay on the left-hand side of the table, but it hasn't.
Do you think he's deliberately played to run into that 6? Because he's hit it at quite a pace. Not entirely sure. So 6 ball's going to go up table here. Stop the cue ball dead. Or even drop back a wee bit. Looks alright. It is going to come out. So Danny's going to see an edge of it.
It's so difficult to judge when the balls are so close together like that. The top guys obviously make it look very easy, but there's a big possibility of a double hit on something like that. The referee was right over it.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of having a referee, of course, on this final. Don't need to worry about that sort of thing being missed. This is not going to work out. It's not going to work out. And Fraser's going to be left a good shot here. A little bit of angle. Still going to have to do something to get on this 7. But he cues the ball so well. I don't foresee any issues. Perfect. What a shot. I mean, look at the speed control on that one. That is absolute perfection from Patrick.
Someone's just asked how tight are the pockets. I believe they're 4 1/4 on the match table, 4 1/2 in the middle, which is absolutely top end of WNT ranking events now. Not that this is one, of course.
I have to say, as Fraser takes that one away to take a 4-3 lead, I have to say I really, really do like the tables here in Spots and Stripes. I really enjoyed it back in March. Yeah, I mean, they don't play like anything else. I mean, my first match I played yesterday, I only managed to play one match because of my late arrival, and I really, really struggled. I loved playing on the table. I loved the pocket size. I think it's perfect. It's not too big, not too small. But I felt like the cloth, this Z9 cloth, is just a little bit different to what I'm used to personally.
Yeah, I've just got to jump in, sorry, because I've just been corrected by Tash, who built the tables, they're not 4 1/4. Sorry, Tash, they're 4 1/8. So
Very precise.
yeah, so they are quite tight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing about I wonder if it's the same on all the other tables, because we do have a couple of different table brands here at Spots and Stripes. But one thing I've noticed, certainly from playing and watching, is that these tables promote attacking pool. You know, you're not seeing a whole lot of safety play. People are just going for aggressive runouts. You know, sometimes with the, I like to call it the 4-inch revolution that we've been going through the last couple of years. It's certainly the club that I play at, McGoldrick's, has been tightened to 4-inch. You don't often see that much aggressive pull, really. But yeah, these tables, they promote aggressive play, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and a 4-inch pocket with a new cloth, though, can play a little bit more generous.
That is very true.
But still a lot tighter than they used to be. I remember the days of 5 inches or so on the corners, where even people like me would barely ever miss. So they must have been easy. As we see the break again from Fraser.
Yeah, that's not too bad. The key shot is really now, I think. What makes it a little bit difficult is the close proximity to this bottom rail. The good news is he's got that 4 ball there that can just kill the path of the cue ball, because there is a slight angle on this too. Doesn't need to do anything at all.
Yeah, you'd think he's got to go aggressive here. You can see the bottom of the cue ball, so he can run it into that 4 nicely.
There we are. Beautiful. What a shot.
Oh, perfect camera angle as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting comment in the chat there from Tash. So am I right in saying Tash is the guy that does the tables here at Spots and Stripes, yeah? Yeah, so they've got a bar box table that they've just installed, a couple of them. Really, really interesting. I've not had a shot on it yet, but a lot of people have been playing on them. Very popular indeed.
Yeah, they've got all sorts here at Spots and Stripes. It's a great venue.
Yeah, what a venue, by the way.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So if you fancy your snooker, your American pool, your English pool, including the new Ras on Apollo table, by the way, I saw hidden away in a room.
Oh.
And even Chinese 8-ball, they got it all.
And that's the great thing about this club, you know, a lot of us old timers like me from the old GB9 days talk about, okay, we're not in a hotel anymore, but one of the real plus points about being back in a club is the fact that you can play in between matches. Not only have they given us 3 fantastic of the old GB9 tables to practice on for free, but the fact that you can actually rent, as you say, you've got that amazing Chinese 8-ball table that's been in constant use throughout the weekend. If you like snooker or 8-ball, then of course you can have a shot of that. I don't personally, so I'll just stick to the practice tables here. But yeah, that's one of the real plus points about this new GB9, is that you get to play in between matches.
Yeah, it's a point I made yesterday. I don't really want to hammer on about it, but a lot of events I go to, I'm very privileged to be able to go all over the place and see these events. And a lot of the smaller events, if they've got extra tables, they'll use them for the tournament. They'll try and get things running that way. But GB9 have really considered the players not currently playing and held back. Well, I wouldn't say held back. They've actually put in 3 extra tables, so it doesn't actually affect the tournament. And 3 extra tables for practice, and you can book your practice, and it just makes such a massive difference to the players.
There's nothing worse than, you know, if you're at the single elimination stage, let's say the Saturday morning, for example, you lose an early match, and then in the old days you'd have to wait for pretty much the next day before you, or certainly till midnight when the tables would open up. It's a long time to wait without getting your arm going, so it's great to see this new setup as Fraser takes this one away for a 5-3 lead. No problems at all with just going through the balls. No issues. And this guy can just run racks for days, to be quite honest.
And this is what happened in the semi-final. Tight, few mistakes, right up to 3-3. And then all of a sudden, he became imperious and just dominated the rest of the match.
It does feel like Fraser, you know, does have a level he can go up. Whereas, does Danny have that extra level to go to? As that's Fraser having a chat with one of the Scottish players, Archie. So Danny's at the stage, I reckon, where he can't really afford to lose the next couple of racks. He can't afford to let Fraser run away with this. That's a good thing about the alternate break format, and I'm really glad. I know that with the new GB9 rule set, we're going very much with the Matchroom rules, but that's one of the rules that we've not taken across from Matchroom, is the fact that it's alternate breaks, and it's great for this type of event as well, because you don't want anyone running away with it. So Ramesh has the opportunity here, or Danny should I say. As you say, it's the one in the side again. Well, this doesn't look too bad at all.
Yeah, absolutely dream layout. Just like he had in the first rack really, but he didn't take those out. So now he just needs to hold himself together. But if you look, all the balls on the outside, you can nearly go centre table every shot. And you're absolutely fine.
Oh, he's going to be queuing over the 7. It makes it so much harder.
Yeah, he's a long way away from it as well, so he's going to be stretching a bit.
I guess you could say the good news is where the 4's positioned, he really just needs to draw the 3 back a little bit.
No heroics, don't overplay this.
It's amazing the difference that makes when you're queuing over a ball.
Yeah, he hit that so hard because he couldn't really reach the bottom of the cue ball, so he had to put extra pace on it to get it back.
Bit of body English as well, which again you can't really, I mean you can understand, you know, he's in a really awkward stance. And it's a wide open chance for 6-3. Fraser letting his arm out.
Ramesh would be so disappointed if it does go 6-3, because after that break again, it was just begging to be taken out. And he needs to stop these errors. Like you say, with the alternate break format, he will get chances.
And he's clearly worked out the break, of course, as we've seen, more than once in this final. Did you watch the Imran match that Danny played? I didn't personally. I would have liked to have kind of seen how that went, and I'd like to have seen how he was breaking there as well. Because I mean, if you're going to beat someone like Imran Majid, then you've got to be on the top of your game, and you've got to be breaking and running quite a few, I would say.
Yeah, Imran doesn't lose really, he gets beat, doesn't he? You've got to really bring your A game. You can't rely on him to be missing. This looks perfect.
So he's looking at short side here. That 9 ball does come into play, so I can understand him thinking about that. Falling on the right hand side of the table does take away the 9 ball, but it's just a smaller area to fall into. No, it's absolutely fine.
You saw the reaction there of the cue ball after making contact with the 7. He cues it so well,
He
so
does.
sweetly. Didn't have to hit that hard at all.
He just doesn't hit the ball hard. You're absolutely right. He literally does cue it so well. Doesn't have to. Definitely the smoothest stroke in British 9 ball. And 6-3, and as you say, Danny's not going to be happy. He gave that one away. And the further we go, the harder it's going to be. I actually think Danny needs this next rack, and of course it's Fraser's break. Yeah, 7-3 is going to be really hard to come back from. Of course, it is a race to 11, so there are plenty of opportunities, but I don't know.
Yeah, Fraser's only really halfway there, but the momentum definitely with him.
And he's got such a dependable cue action as well. He just doesn't feel pressure, Fraser. Even when he was on the TV table at the UK Open in Sky Sports against Mickey Krause, the informed player in the world, he didn't look phased in the slightest bit.
He doesn't really show emotion.
No, absolutely not. On and off the table.
Well, I got that impression.
He's a good guy though, Fraser. Got a lot of friends back in Glasgow. And I'd be absolutely delighted if he really took advantage of this momentum that he's got right now in the 9-ball world. I do believe he's looking at getting a pro card for next year on the Matchroom Tour, the WNT. So let's hope he does get it. I mean, his ranking's got to be pretty high after that UK Open finish.
So he's moved the cue ball back halfway between middle and the edge of the break box. This time the cue ball's come to the top of the table, and the 2 ball's gone the other end.
And he's not happy with that. You say he doesn't show emotion, but what he does sometimes is he scrunches his face in a certain way where you can see he's not too happy, and he's clearly in reference at that 6-ball. But the 6-ball is quite close to that pocket, so I mean the combination's there. The 4 and the 8 have kind of frozen together as well, so there is definitely a couple of issues with this rack here.
Yeah, maybe not too much value in trying the difficult combo. So, lot to think about.
Could maybe do 2-ball against the bottom rail, back up to the top rail. Cue ball trying to go in behind the 7-9. Couple of things he could do.
Yeah, there's plenty of cover if he wants it.
I've got to be honest, Ben, I'd be taking on this 2-6. Says more about me than it does about Fraser, but he's played that pretty well. But where's the 2 going to land?
I think this is going to open up, you know.
Oh wow, I can't believe he's left that.
And I am right behind it, and he has just left the gap. Just about squeezed past the 4-ball to make the edge of the 2 here.
The thing is, he's placed the cue ball quite well when you think about it. It's on the bottom rail. You know, he's got that, the 4 and 8. Oh,
It's hanging. It's got 5 seconds after the ball stop. I don't think it's going to drop though.
I mean, what's the size of the pockets again? It's
4 and an 8.
4 and an 8.
But the Tash who built the table says they got a very shallow shelf, which does help make them play a little bit more generous, I guess.
So definitely going to have to go rail first with this. Just got there. He has a shot. Just checking to see if the 4 goes past the 8. I would say it does. So the 5-ball is coming into this here. Doesn't want to hit into it.
Missed it.
And that's why he's missed it. There's no doubt in my mind that that's why he's missed that ball. Because I think the natural path of the cue ball was to collide with the 5. So he's had to change something with his stroke. Ben's just seen if this 4 goes. And the verdict is?
It definitely does not.
Well, is Danny going to play this carom then?
Oh.
Yes.
Did he hit the 4 first?
Oh, what did we think?
Yeah, referee was right behind it. Didn't see anything wrong with it, so
I think it did. I think it did, but
Must have been.
It was really close though.
I just looked away for a second. So Nothing to see here. That's a good shot.
Needs his cue ball to travel. Needs it to travel. Well, the good thing is that 6 is over the pocket, so just needs to make the ball.
He's
missed it.
hasn't.
He put a quick one in there, Danny, and he can't afford to be doing this at 6-3 down to a player of Fraser Patrick's calibre.
Yeah, this will be the third rack at least that he had best chance in, because the score could have been almost opposite what it is now.
And you kind of feel this match might start running away from Danny Gokhul here. So Fraser Patrick going into a 7-3 lead in a race to 11. Main event final of the GB9 in Red Hill, Spots and Stripes. And Danny's just having a wee chat with one of his friends there. As you can see, the lovely trophy.
Yeah, so there's 3 trophies there. The main one in the middle, and then alongside the main event, it's a good thing and really inclusive for all the players that attend. You get tier 1 and tier 2 events. There you see them again.
How nice are those trophies, by the way? They are absolutely beautiful. When you think about what the trophies used to be in the GB9, some former winners of the tier 2 title have likened it to an ashtray. No offence.
I remember them, yeah. I remember them, yeah.
And there's quite a few Scottish players that have ashtrays in their house, and they love them very much, but I will say this trophy is absolutely beautiful. And Ben, you and I are playing tomorrow. Are you in tomorrow?
I've made it through to the final day, would you believe?
So there we have it. So Ben and I will be fighting out for one of those trophies tomorrow. I'm surprised you're in tier 2. I was watching you earlier on, or on the first day. Very surprised that you're in tier 2.
I'm not.
I think they've done me over a little bit there by putting you there as one of my rivals.
No, I don't think you have anything to fear. My mentality for the game's long gone, which is why I don't play it.
Okay, so this is a big rack, I think, for Ramesh, Danny Gokhul. Again, 1 in the side, as always. The 2 spinning up towards the cue ball. Now, does the 2 go past this 8 ball?
Now, once again, I am right in line with it. And, I mean, very just. Very just. He's only got half a pocket at the most.
But again, at the right pace, though.
Yeah.
This is going to go.
Yeah. He's got to put a little bit into it to get out for the 3. Yes. Made it past comfortably.
It's good. And the next one does the 4 past the 8. I love the seat that you've got. You can, because I can't see it personally from where I'm sitting, so it's good you're there. You can be the little judge for that left-hand corner.
I haven't been called little for many years. Nice solid stroke.
And it must do. Oh, look at this camera work from TYPLive. The 5 certainly doesn't pass the 8, I can tell you that much, without being down the barrel. I'm making Sam work here. I'm making you work, pal.
Yeah, his reaction when you asked if it passed was like he'd killed his firstborn.
He's too busy watching something else, that's the thing. I've taken him away from his other viewing.
Never happy unless he's got 6 screens in front of him.
He's played that well, Danny.
Yeah, got
nice little angle. Yep. It's nice to see Danny take away a nice rack. It's been a wee while since we last seen him run out.
Yeah, he's not there yet. Having to use the rest. Plays it well. And he absolutely needed that.
Crowd are still on his side, trying to get him up for this one. So yeah, so Ben, great to have you. I was surprised to see your name in the draw. Of course, well known nowadays for being one of the top referees in the UK, in the world. Possibly. I mean, you're on the Matchroom main tour. You're on Sky Sports all the time. What's the reason for coming into GB9 then?
Well, I didn't want to do any refereeing.
That's fair. Yeah, don't blame you.
So I really like supporting 9-ball in the UK. It's very difficult for me normally to get to events. I live quite far away from everything in the southwest, but at the moment I do have somewhere I can stay near GB9. So I asked the question if they wouldn't mind having me in to do a bit of commentary, and I thought I might dabble a bit with the queue as well, not expecting to do anything. I didn't do anything in the main event, to be fair, 2 and out as expected. But yeah, that's why I'm here. I love seeing the resurgence of GB9. They've put so much effort into it, and it's really paying dividends. The players love it, and it's only getting bigger and better.
I think that's crystal clear, and we've seen that on event 1, is just how much effort has been put in from the guys that are now in control. Dan, of course, Dan Sue's one of the main guys here. He's backed up with a really good team as well, but it's quite evident that the right people are here and they've taken control of GB9, and it's going to go from strength to strength. As Fraser breaks off, so he has got a shot on the 2, but not really much to play with here.
Yeah, he hasn't ever really had an open shot, or it's certainly nothing easy after the break. So he'll be delighted to be as far ahead as he is.
So possibly using this 4-9 as blockers. Needs it to slow down though. It's going to come out. Or is it?
No, this is one I can't see.
Sam just jumps out of his seat there, right into action. So, what do you think? Are we maybe a wee swerve? See, you don't want to be colliding into that 3 though. That's the thing.
3's in the way, really.
He's got his jump stick out by the looks of things. Yeah, we're going airborne, which I don't really like jumping these ones, to be honest. And actually, Danny's going back to his seat with his jump cue, so he agrees with me. I don't like jumping when the object ball is so close to the rail.
Yeah.
I find myself just jumping off the table every
100%,
time.
100%.
There's lots of guys. I mean, my good pal David Black back in Scotland, he uses the jump stick. I mean, if he could use a jump stick for every shot, he would. He would absolutely love to take that shot on. Very rarely sends it off the table. This is not going to work out for Danny.
Is that famous Q-snap photography, David Black?
It is, yeah. Unfortunately, he's not here. He's on other duties. Dave Black, big 9-ball guy up in Scotland, plays the UK Open as well every year. He still hasn't played a GB9, which I cannot believe, and I've been pestering him for years to come down. So hopefully we'll get him here soon. So wide open chance for Fraser now. And that's the other great thing about Fraser moving over to 9-ball. So often you see snooker players, 8-ball players moving over and giving it a shot, and you tend to see them never really use spin. They just kind of play plain ball, maybe a little bit of top, maybe a little bit of bottom. But look at the spin that Fraser put in that last shot there. He's not afraid to use spin.
Yeah, it's absolutely essential at this game, where a lot of people from other key sports believe it's an easy game. Trust me, it's not. The pockets might be slightly bigger, but you've got to get to where you've got to get to. There's only ever one ball on, and that's why spin is so key. You've got to move that cue ball around quite a lot.
I think he wanted to land straight on the 6 to play the 7 in the side. He's just checking to see if that's still possible. I think it. I mean, he's got the bottom left-hand pocket as well, so it's not a disaster. Yeah, he should be still okay for this. The side. What would you do? Side or bottom?
Well, I'd play it through with top and off the bottom rail and back out again.
And Fraser Patrick agrees with you.
And I'd probably miss it.
Or maybe he doesn't.
Can look like a big ball, that 9, but he should be fine. He should be able to avoid it. No, he's going the other way now. Oh, he's not.
Yeah, it's just on his mind, isn't it? I think there's a chance you might see him take this 7 to the bottom left then, if that 9 ball is on his mind. He can hit it at such a pace where he can just bounce off that side rail.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do. No, he's still not settled.
I think it was just the last shot that's really cost him there. He was just a little bit off centre on that 6. If he was dead set, then this rack would be over.
Wow.
How's that for a confident stroke? That's the thing, he's got such a dependable cue action. And that sort of shot is no problem at all, and he's just rolled that in nicely and back to the centre of the table for the 9. And this is going to be 8-4, Fraser Patrick.
Yeah, Ramesh just tapping his thigh in appreciation. Nice to see.
And that's very much the sort of shot, the one there on the 7, that's the sort of thing you would see one of the top pros play it that way. They want to hit the ball with authority. You know, if you're having to just kind of put that half stroke on it, you're risking the possibility of missing the pot, maybe not putting enough spin on the ball. Hit the ball with authority. And although he had to go an unconventional way round, it worked out perfectly well, and he's just describing that to his friends in the crowd.
Yeah, there really is a big difference between this and other key sports with regards to hitting that ball with authority. You rarely see people playing shots dead weight. It's almost a last resort. I said yesterday, if you can get to the same place on the table, hitting it dead weight and hitting it on and off a cushion, most players would hit it on and off the cushion.
And you have to feel for Danny now. It's crunch time. Fraser is 3 away from victory. Danny's a little bit more away. I think something's going to have to happen for him. You have to say, it's been impressive from Fraser Patrick. His first GB9 event. I don't remember him actually playing in the GB9 back in the old days. I know he watched the first event from home. He watched quite a few of the matches. Clearly thinking to himself, why am I not there? And he's here now. So, Gokhul to break. He's missed the 1 in the side for the first time. And it's the first dry break of the final. Has that 3 come to his rescue?
Yeah, the 1 went high, which suggests he hit it a bit too full. But the 3 has covered it up. So likely just a push out here. So one side of the game that the top guys really work on is their tactics on a push out. How do you think about these things, Graham? Do you just push to something that you're comfortable with, or do you think about who you're playing and what they're comfortable with?
I guess it's quite hard, especially here on the GB9, when you tend to not really know all the players. Yeah, I mean that's the point really of a push out, isn't it? Is you want to leave yourself something that you're going to be able to execute. So yeah, I guess I'm thinking more about myself when I'm pushing out. I think think a lot of things come into it. I mean, if you're playing against, like, let's say a snooker player or an 8-ball player, you know they're not going to have a jump cue, so pushing out to a jump is an option.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly seen some really good tactics when it comes to the push out.
Well,
I think he might be having this one back.
big smile on the face of Fraser as he's played that. He knows he's pulled a clanger there for the first time in this match, first time this weekend. I think he's played a really poor shot.
That's a horror snooker. That is. He's got to play into the rail he's closest to. It's so hard to judge. This is going to have to be a bit hit and hope. Done well to hit it.
He's done well.
There's some distance.
I mean, it's not bad. He's obviously left the pot. And the good news for Danny is, look at where the 2 is. He doesn't have to do much with this cue ball. Just make the 1.
Yeah, it could have been a lot easier though. So Fraser won't be too upset with the outcome either.
Great shot. He stayed still in that shot, and that was key. And that's one thing you haven't really seen in this match is Fraser making an unforced error and Ramajama taking advantage. It's normally been the other way about.
Yeah, that one was a big one though, but Ramajama needs to make him pay.
I think dead straight would have been perfect for this one. I think he's still okay anyway. Still queuing confidently. 8-4 behind. He doesn't look like he's too phased. Doesn't appear that the 7 is going to go to this bottom left hand pocket, so he needs to bear that in mind when he's playing shape for this 6. I guess, I mean, it could go to the middle as well, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think just keep things simple here and bring the cue ball off, on and off the side rail.
Yep.
And he should be fine for the middle pocket. He did miss a 9 into the middle very early though, didn't he?
He did. I'm going to put that one down to first rack nerves though. That's good. Tiny bit of angle. Play the 9 potentially in the opposite middle pocket. There you have it. Nice run out, Ramesh. Gokhul.
And they're starting to trade racks now, which Fraser will be fine with, to be honest. Now he's built a lead, so Ramesh really needs to dig into this lead as soon as possible, but at least he's not falling any further behind.
And that was a massive mistake there from Fraser. Snookering himself behind that 6.
I noticed he's been chalking his cue from pretty much the moment he sat down, and he's only just stopped now.
So what do you think? Is that maybe a miscue that happened then?
Or maybe he's trying to suggest it.
Yeah. Okay, so got quite an exciting final. Certainly more exciting than the last main event final. So as we mentioned earlier on, Ben, you're through to Sunday. How have you been playing so far then? As I said, I've watched a little bit of you. I think you look pretty good on the shot, but I think you're being quite humble in suggesting that you're not much of a threat for Tier 2. But
I'm not much of a threat for anybody.
you must have been playing okay to get through to the Sunday though?
No, I'll be honest. I think my opponents handed me more than I won. So yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's one of the great things about GB9 is that the levels are so different. You've got the top guys here, of course, but but we have certainly seen since the resurgence of GB9, we've seen quite a few new people appear who are not the most experienced of players, but that's good. That's what you want. That's been the beauty of GB9 for all these years, is so many fluctuating levels.
Well, it's one of the things that's been true of Paul for many, many years is that when you have these tournaments, there are probably 80% or so people who enter who don't really have a realistic chance of winning, but they still enter because they love the game, and GB9 are really bringing these people together for 9-ball now.
Yeah, some of the new guys I've been chatting to over the last, certainly this event and last event, they absolutely love it. You know, even if the guys they're not winning matches very consistently, their passion for the game, you can see it, and that's the thing, that the competitive spirit that you get here at GB9, they want to come back stronger for the next event. So yeah, if you're watching at home and you're a little bit nervous about, you know, playing competitive pool, this is your event. This is the sort of event you want to join.
Fraser, this time the 2-ball stays close to the cue ball. He still doesn't really have an attacking option, so he's played safe. He probably wanted to be right behind that 5.
Yeah, luckily for him, the 7's there, and that saved him.
It's a lot easier than it should have been, though. Good contact.
I reckon Fraser's going to have a shot at this. 2 to the top left-hand pocket, because look at where the 3 is. The problem is the cue ball is going to be going quite close to the 5 and the 4.
Well, he looks to be putting some side on this to try and get it behind that 5, and that's better.
It's gone safe, it's a great shot.
That's a really good one, he's welded.
Judgment of the cue ball was perfection. And that's why Fraser's in the main event final and I'm not. I would take on that too. All out attack. And yeah, Danny's got a little thing to think about here.
I mean, this is so tough.
He's looking at coming off the bottom rail now. I think that's what I would personally do. There's a little gap between the 6 and the 7, and that's where he's going. A little bit of right hand side.
It's one of those though, if you catch the rail,
oh, he's just
too
missed it.
far up.
Just. It looked good as soon as he hit it. But that's what strong safety play does, and it's bought Fraser Patrick ball in hand.
Yeah, Fraser absolutely cut out any easy escape, cut out any jump shot, and that's what you've got to do to eke out an opportunity.
Ramesh is just having a wee chat with the crowd beside him. A little shrug of the shoulders. I think he's accepted that this rack could be gone.
That's what a player like Fraser does to you though. Most of the balls are still on the table, and Ramesh is already looking at the next rack. But it's still got to be taken out. The 4, a slight issue. Don't think it passes the 5 to the top right, so he's got to get on that right.
Just as Fraser works this one out, we've had a question on the chat, and please feel free to give us your comments. We're monitoring the chat. Tash has just asked just about the general opinion of events being held here at Spots and Stripes in Red Hill on a permanent basis. Personally, I'm all for it. I think the club is fantastic. Accessibility, of course, is, I guess, a little bit tougher for guys like me who are from Scotland, but actually, I mean, you've got Gatwick Airport just round the corner. I don't fly personally, so I mean, it was a long train journey to get here for me, but I've got to be honest, I think it's worth it. But yeah, I think the area of Red Hill is fantastic. Everything is there. You've got quite a few hotels you can potentially stay at. The club is outstanding. It's in this little arena that we've got here is perfect. Like I'll be honest, I kind of feel already like we're home, and I don't think I would really personally want GB9 to go anywhere else. Of course, the hotel format was amazing, and it gave you a really unique feel. I think we're quite far away from that right now. It's certainly possible in the future, who knows, but no, certainly to answer your question, Tash, I think this is where GB9 has to stay.
I mean, just a general, more of a general vibe rather than the particular venue, but GB9 moving to clubs rather than hotel, it's got this really good modern vibe about it, because you'll remember, Graham, from playing in the hotel, it was very much silence at all times.
That's right.
And there wasn't much, I would say, of an atmosphere.
100%.
That was right at its time. It was absolutely the right thing to do at its time. But now we've moved on. We know this modern era with the World 9 Ball Tour. Always have music in the background, and it's a really good. I think it helps ease distractions and things like that when there's some background noise going on.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think moving the main event final to the Saturday night was a stroke of genius, quite honestly, for several reasons. And as you say, the atmosphere of a Saturday night, you know, centre of a nice little town here, it's absolutely perfect.
And the winner can go out and celebrate.
For sure. Or they can have a celebratory McDonald's. What is that, 24-hour McDonald's across the road? Brilliant. We've got everything here, haven't we?
My body's a temple, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So Fraser running this one out. He's getting closer and closer. Just overrun this cue ball a little bit. Nothing dramatic. And there you have it, 9-5, and suddenly you can hear the Scottish contingent
Yeah.
cheering their man on.
After every rack he's won, they've been getting louder and louder from absolutely nothing to. They know he's close now. Fraser just maintaining this 3 or 4 rack gap. That's all he needs to do. He already did the hard work early on.
Yeah, Tash in the chat, yeah, no, it's a lot of effort moving the tables, there's no doubt about it, but it's very much appreciated in this arena that we've got. You just can't get anything else anywhere else in the country, and I'm very fortunate my local club, McGoldrick's in Scotland, is for me the finest pool hall, or one of the finest pool halls in the UK. But certainly one thing the club doesn't have is a lot of space, and that's something that this amazing club has here. Tons and tons of space. So yeah, we're definitely at home here, and we appreciate your effort with moving all the tables, and hopefully you have to move them for a long time to come.
Yeah, I was saying yesterday, it is a big effort to move 9-ball tables, so very much appreciated.
Liam McGee on the chat, nice to see you, sir. One of the Edinburgh-based pool players. Have I been playing this weekend? Well, I unfortunately had to forfeit my first match because I had a tough time getting here. Thanks to the train network here in the UK, it's not very good. I had a poor first match. I came right off a train journey, went straight into my first match, and I mentioned earlier on I love the tables here, but they're quite difficult to get used to, a little bit different to what we're used to in Scotland. So yeah, I struggled to get going, but I had a really good match earlier on, a 7-1 win, so I'm through to tomorrow, and I'm feeling quite good about my game. We'll see where we go. So Danny breaking off here.
Took a bit off that break that time.
And it's not worked. He's not got a shot on this 2. So we're going to see a push out, I would say. 3 and the 7 have welded themselves nicely as well.
Don't suppose they lend themselves to a combo, do they, down the bottom corner? I don't know.
Well, I'm down the barrel of this one now, so I can take this one. No is the answer. Now, oh, there we go, Sam, right on it again. Sometimes we forget you're here, Sam. But yeah, do you think it goes? Sam seems to think that 3-7 goes. I think it depends where the cue ball really is. I think if he plays it from here, from where the cue ball is, then yeah.
I'm not convinced, I gotta say.
He's got a chance of splitting this 3. Well, he's not taking it on, but I think if he took on that pot, there was a small opportunity. He's overhit this by some way, though.
And this is a good angle to break these out.
Isn't it just? It's a decent effort, it's just not quite worked out the way he wanted. No. Just as you mentioned earlier on about the atmosphere, the Saturday night atmosphere. Interestingly, we're seeing Imran Majid, who's come into the arena, and he's having a wee laugh and a wee joke with some of the guys on the practice tables. I actually think that's really good to see, because Imran, some would say, really should be playing this final right now, and he certainly was the favourite to be in the final. So the fact that he's actually come into the arena and he's having a wee laugh and a joke with the guys off camera, I think that's really good to see.
Yeah, it is good to see. And
Not taking it too seriously.
he's probably also involved in the Tier 1 event, which is still going on.
Wow. That looked good.
It did. That's the result of not really splitting those balls as he intended.
So this is the key shot here. I think bit of right hand side. Fraser can come out for this 4. I mean, the scratch is a very small possibility, and the 9 could potentially get in the way here as well. So there are a couple of things to think about if he does go aggressive, which he is in a different way. He went for the bank shot, missed it, and he's left a chance for Ramesh Gokhul.
Hi Danny King in the chat. Nice to hear from you, mate.
Yeah, good guy, Danny. This cue ball needs to stop, and it has, only just. Yeah, Danny, we don't get to see him at GB9. He's someone who very much prioritises the Matchroom Open events. So I imagine a lot of time goes into that, and a lot of expense goes into that as well. But yeah, you'd love it here, Danny. You should definitely get yourself over for one of the remaining events. 2 more left in the year, September and December.
Yeah, the one at the end of the year is the weekend right before Moscone Cup. So you could make a big trip of it, have a couple of days off, and then go and watch the Moscone.
What an amazing week and a half until that would be. Coming down here for the GB9 and then Moscone Cup on the Wednesday, I think it begins.
Correct.
A couple of days in the city centre of London, or a couple of days in Red Hill if you wanted. Great shot there from Danny Gokhul. He is going to leave himself a bit of a tester on this 7 though. Didn't hit it as hard as he wanted to.
And just going back to the Moscone Cup, for those that haven't heard, this year obviously we're back at Alexandra Palace, but we've upped the capacity and there are 1,000 extra seats every single day, so the atmosphere is going to be electric, and Ramesh has played a beauty there.
That's a rack winning shot. Outstanding from Ramesh Gokhul. He's not going down without a fight. And if Ramesh can win the next rack, maybe the next couple of racks, you never know.
He's just been going on break for the last 6 or so racks. So yeah, Ramesh just needs to break once and he'll be right back in this.
So Ben, Moscone Cup we're talking about, is there any chance we can see you in the middle, in the heart of the action, telling 3,000 people to be quiet on their shot?
Well, I'm not a fan of telling people to be quiet on their shot. Actually, I quite like the noise, I'll be honest. Who knows? I was very fortunate to do the last one in Florida. An amazing experience.
Is that right? I didn't know that. You were part of the Moscone Cup. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it doesn't get any better as a referee then, right?
No, it was always the dream. I've completed that now. So yeah, just hope to stay there for as long as possible.
And how often did you have to tell the crowd to be quiet? About 1,000 times?
Do you know what? When everybody's making noise, you don't really notice it. It's a strange thing. It's why I quite like the noise. It's one voice in a quiet room is so much more distracting than we had people ringing cowbells, deliberately trying to put people off. I was stood in the middle in the final rack, and the beeps were going off for the shot clock, and they were so loud throughout the rest of the week. But right at that moment, as the American crowd was trying to put off Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, neither of us could hear them.
Wow.
It was unreal.
Oh, the cue ball. Oh, just missed the middle. That's the first time that Fraser's missed the one on the side.
Yeah, it looks like he's made a random ball though, but he's only got a push.
And the thing is, where do you go, really? I mean, look at where his cue is right now. I don't think he's going to want to leave the cue ball there, that's for sure, because he's going to leave a relative... I mean, I guess you could, but it would have to be tight against the rail, I reckon.
I mean, I've definitely seen top pros, when their opponents have been struggling, deliberately leaving testers like that, but Ramesh hasn't been struggling in the last few racks. So it's a dangerous game if he does leave a shot.
Quite a few balls to hide behind as well down the bottom side of the table, so I think he is going to leave a shot at this one. He wants to be tight against the rail.
Well, I think this is quite gettable.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Danny would have to take this pot on, he has to. You can't turn that down. And it's just a stop shot, really, with the two being over the bottom right. Yeah, not sure about that from Fraser.
But there wasn't anywhere really lending itself
No.
to leave the cue ball for the...
I mean, the top left-hand side of the table, he still would have left a shot, of course, but certainly not a straight-in pot. I can understand the logic behind it, but I think the cue ball had to be tight on the rail for that shot to be feasible. What a chance this is for Danny.
Yeah, we were saying he's just got to break the serve, if you like, in Fraser, because he's been winning the ones on his own break last few times, and he's got a golden chance to do it right here, and it'll be his break next.
Okay, so we're gonna, what do you think, 7 to the middle? See, I love this shot. I'd go 7 to the middle, left hand side and 3 rails round. This is how wild I am though. Danny's been a little bit more conservative. He's played that really well. We have got a match on here, folks. Looks like Fraser had really upped his game and was starting to run away with it. But he's made a couple of mistakes now. Not his first one. And Danny's running out. No problem at all. 9-7. Have we got a game?
If only someone had called that this might be a possibility with the momentum shifts.
Break and run here. And it's game on.
Yeah, the extended race to 11, making this comeback a possibility. In every other round, Fraser would have already won. But they always say the hardest ones to win are the first and the very last rack that you need.
Let's not forget, folks, this is not the end of the GB9 weekend, even though it's the final of the main event. We still have a full day tomorrow. The tier events, they have already begun. And I think we're on the loser side of tier 2 at the moment, if I remember correctly. There's a few more matches going on in the background. It's interesting the way it's gone with the crowd. Everyone came together for the first maybe half of the match. A few people have kind of dispersed now. They've been called for their matches. We're seeing a few people around the practice table and a few people just having a beer and a chat, which is good to see. And that's one of the great things about GB9, is it's such a social event. So many people know one another. And the new players, they're getting to know each other as well.
Yeah, and I was even getting tips from players that beat me, obviously, and they wouldn't tell me that before what to do. But yeah, it's a really good community. You can really learn quite a lot just by coming here for one weekend.
Okay, Danny, what have you got, sir? He's done a great job to hang in there. He's not lost hope, and that's why he's right back in this game. He could do with a break and run here, though. He missed the one with his last break, but he's made it this time.
Absolutely perfect. And is this two just going to dress up? It's not easy, but it's got a shot.
The difficulty is that the cue ball is going to be coming back down table. So trying to hold for this three, not the easiest. So, just while, oh, here we go, Ramajama, he's going to go for this. He's going to take this on. Up and down the table, but he has missed the two. The good news is, it has run relatively safe. Ben, just a quick word about as someone who racks thousands of packs a year. Hundreds of thousands, maybe. What do you think about the shark rack that we've got for this event? So we've changed racks. Fraser plays a very nice safety shot there. Well, he's turned away, he's not too happy. So does that mean there's a potential combination here?
It must do.
He doesn't look happy at all. Yeah, so we've switched to the shark racks for this event. Dan just changing things up a little bit, and I think that's really good. In my opinion, I think the shark racks are the best racks you can possibly get, quite honestly. They are the most durable and the most accurate racks I've ever played with. But I'd love to get your opinion, who's a lot more of a professional than I am. So he's missed the combination. Not sure if that's even what he was going to go for. But again, it's finished a wee bit safe. Yeah, so just comparing it to the... Now, if you... I don't want you to make any controversial comments that could get you some flack over at Matchroom. They, of course, use the Magic Ball Rack. How do you think this shark rack has performed this weekend?
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier when I was joined on commentary, that the shark rack really holds the balls well. So in terms of racking, it is as straightforward as it comes. Anybody who's probably never even touched a rack before could probably get the balls to be touching.
Absolutely.
And that makes a massive difference for how the breaks go. We've seen very often the breaks on this main table a true reflection of how the players hit them, and that's really important. So yeah, I think they're really good. And the other thing I really like about them, I mean, you alluded to it very much there, is the durability. Because as a referee, the bane of my life is seeing players abuse equipment. And when I say abuse, I mean they're just a lack of care, maybe.
Yep.
So they pick up the rack and they bend it in all sorts of ways, and you think you wouldn't do that if that was your equipment.
Absolutely.
But I haven't seen that we've had to replace one of these racks yet.
No.
Despite all that abuse. So yeah, they're obviously very good at what they do.
And one of the great things about GB9, and this is why Dan is such a great organiser of GB9, he's given a shark rack to every competitor in this tournament, just complimentary, just as a nice thing to do. So in our local tournament in Edinburgh, we are using Magic Ball racks, it's not going very well, so we're going to test the durability big time on these shark racks, because just like you say, Ben, some of our players in Edinburgh, they are a little bit heavy-handed with the rack and they don't last very long, so this will be a great test. But yeah, big fan of these racks personally. Yeah.
Right, understand you can buy them from the maker, Shane Conroy himself, on eBay.
Yeah, Shane, of course, is a former GB9 player himself. I say former, I've not seen him at any of the events this year. But yeah, Shane's a very handy player as well. I've played him a couple of times. But yeah, what an amazing job he's done with his rack. and I really hope it goes from strength to strength. It deserves to be out there for the whole world to see. So yeah, bit of a gift here from Danny. Fraser just running through the balls, no problem. And we really are at this stage in the final where the tiniest of mistakes from Danny could be curtains.
And he's on the hill. We expected him to get there, and he has.
And the Scottish contingent roar their appreciation towards Fraser Patrick on the hill. So your pick looks like it's about to come true. Fraser's going to take a time out here on the hill. And yeah, so I mean, Ramesh has put up a great fight in this final, to be fair to him, because Fraser Patrick is a top quality player. So the fact that he's still in the final, good on him, Danny. And who knows, there might still be some play in this final, but it's getting harder. Danny's still smiling though. He's still looking upbeat. He's had a great weekend, of course. Even if he does lose this final, it's been an outstanding run. And he's made a nice little bit of money as well.
Yeah, it's probably further than he may have even expected himself to get. I mean, most players back themselves in every match, but yeah, they didn't have the easiest draw.
Yeah, so we've got some matches going on in the background just while we're waiting for Fraser Patrick to come back from his comfort break. We're on the loser's side. In fact, it looks like it's loser's qualification in Tier 2. Don't think those matches have actually begun yet. I think the players are just warming up.
Yeah, it looks like the matches are just being called now, so yeah.
So what's your target tomorrow, Ben? I'm speaking to you as a competitor now, not as a co-commentator. You're in the last 16 of Tier 2, so am I.
Is it the last 16, really? I honestly didn't know that. Well,
so what's your tactics going into tomorrow?
I'm just going to absolutely smash everything up, like I always do. I don't really have tactics. I'm very aggressive.
What would you be happy with? I think the cash starts in the quarters, right?
I'm not.
No targets?
No.
You just don't.
I'm happy I just won a match.
You just want to be part of it?
Honestly, I'm just happy I won a match. I didn't want to go 2 and out really, but...
Do you not fancy, I mean, you can see in the background there that gorgeous trophy. Not the big one in the middle. That's reserved potentially for the man that's walking into the arena right now. But you don't want one of those nice trophies on your mantelpiece.
I've got plenty of trophies.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you know I've not got a trophy? I don't have one.
Do you not?
Nah.
Not even a local league?
No, because they're not in 9-ball. You don't really get that many trophies. And I'm rubbish as well. You know.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly. So that's probably why I don't have any trophies. So here we go then. Fraser Patrick's back in the arena. He's just asked me if it's his break and I haven't got a clue. Sorry, pal. You have to work it out for yourself. Don't worry, Julian Roper will keep you right.
It will be his break because Ramesh won the lag and this is now the 18th rack.
Worked out like a true referee. So here we go, Fraser Patrick breaking on the hill of the main event of this GB9 Event 2. One in the side. Where's the 2 going to land? Not very nicely for Fraser. So Danny's going to get back to this table.
But what's he going to be faced with? That's the only question.
Julian's going to be watching this one closely. Not bad.
Danny really stretching, but he made it off of 2 rails, and he's going to get slightly rewarded. I think he's left a full contact on this too. I don't know if he's left any sort of edge for Fraser to be able to get the cue ball out of the way or divert the 2 away. Yeah, this is, although he can see it, it's quite horrible. He did just manage to spin it around, but has he left a
Needs it
gap?
to stop. Needs it. He's not happy, and that tells you he's left the 2, and he has. And a lifeline for Ramesh Danny Gokhul. Can't afford any mistakes here. Oh, just got past the 8.
You could see he really tensed up as soon as it came off that rail. He thought he might have caught the 8, but he's got away with it.
Miscue.
Heard it.
Oh no. What's going to happen? Has he got away with it? He deserves to get away with it. Has he left the combination? Fraser doesn't look happy, so that tells you he hasn't.
To be fair, he shouldn't even be at the table. So I can't believe that was a horrendous miscue, wasn't it?
Well, that angle tells you there's a possibility. I mean, I trust Fraser's judgment, and he didn't look too happy at first. Depends really if there's a gap. If the balls are frozen together, it probably won't go. Can he manipulate using a gap if it is there? I mean, it looks like it goes to me. I mean, yeah, so he's playing off the right-hand side of this 3.
It's just squeezing this.
Yeah, he's done well. There must have been the tiniest of gaps to manipulate, and now the rack is wide open. I fear that Ramesh Danny Gokhul has played his final shot of this main event.
Yeah, certainly beginning to look that way.
But massive respect to Danny. He's had an unbelievable tournament. Let's not forget he put out Imran Majid. Not an easy task. He's played outstanding in this main event. And he's had a real good go of this final as well. So he should be very proud of his efforts this weekend.
Like I say, he hasn't had the easiest draw. We saw some fantastic matches from him, but this does look like it's the end. Fraser just going to draw this one to the left-hand side for the easiest of 9s. And at his first attempt, Fraser Patrick is the GB9 Tour champion.
It was a vocal crowd at the beginning. A lot of people here supporting Danny. But in the end, it's the Scots that you can hear celebrating Fraser Patrick's victory. What an amazing year Fraser Patrick is having in the 9-ball world, and it's getting better and better. And there's the man himself, Dan, the founder of the new GB9 ball tour. Absolute legend. So let's hand it over to Dan. Thanks, Ben. Been an absolute pleasure chatting away with you. Been enjoying some of your work this weekend. And I might see you in the final of Tier 2 tomorrow.
Well, let's hope so, Graham. Absolute pleasure. Thank you, mate. And we'll hand over to Dan, sir.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, everybody. Well, what a final that was. Everybody, massive round of applause again for Fraser Patrick. Right, just really quickly, well done to Ramesh, obviously, absolutely magnificent performance. So big round of applause for Ramesh, please. Before we give out the trophy, just have a really, really quick word with Ram. So, Ram, obviously, commiserations, mate. You know, you've had a terrific run to get here to the final. You obviously took down Imran, which is obviously a massive scalp. You must be happy of getting to the final anyway. So, what was your take on the match and your performance, really?
I'm happy with my performance. I had chances, can't complain. Just didn't take him, you know. He played really well. Can't take anything from him. You know, he deserves it. Played well. What can I do?
Fantastic stuff. Again, please, big round of applause for Ramesh. Thank you very much.
Before I go.
Oh, before he goes, hang on. He's got more to say. Wait 1 second, sorry.
Before I go, I've got to big up the sponsors. First of all, Spots and Stripes, best venue in England. Z9 cloth that we play on, best cloth, I believe. Rax Billiards in New York that sponsors me. And everybody else I forgot. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot. Cheers, Ram. Thanks a lot. Fraser, if we can just get you over here just for a second, please. No, he's a man of few words, but I'm going to try and eke a few more words out of him today. Please don't scratch yourself on the belly. Right, so, well, brilliant. Congrats. How do you feel now you're the GB9 Event 2 champion?
As I said to you before, this is what I came down for, trying to win it, so obviously I'm happy that I've done that, do you know what I mean?
Fantastic, cheers. And obviously, what was going through your head in the final rack?
Give me a chance. I knew I wouldn't miss if I got a chance, so like, I've won big things before, I've won big matches before, it doesn't faze me, so I knew if I got a chance, I would clear up.
Fantastic, cheers. And well, what's next up for you now?
Going back to the hotel to look at flights for Saudi, go to the World Qualifiers maybe.
Oh, super. Well, we wish you all the very best of luck with the World Championships, and again, thank you very much. Well done for winning the event too. Well done. Cheers, everybody. Massive round of applause. Okay, so just call upon Dean. Dean, obviously one of our tournament directors. Dean, do you want to present the award to Fraser, the Razor Patrick? And just a quick word, just to thank Sam Jones from TYPLive, who's done an amazing job on the stream. Huge thank you to Ben Taylor Fuente and Graham Hamilton for being your commentary team. They have been absolutely superb. They are the dream team of pool commentary in the UK. So that's it from us for the main event. We'll be back live on stream tomorrow morning, I believe. And we are going to have a full day's action tomorrow. Thank you very much for being with us, and we'll see you soon.
Give them a name to remember. Hey, a moment can live on forever.